pay following an altercation with a fan during Sunday's game in Detroit. Metcalf, as you see there on screen, seen shoving a fan who was leaning over the railing in the first row and did not receive disciplinary action in the game. Without Metcalf, the Steelers will be without a clear number one receiver for their last 2 games of the regular season. Now, DK Metcalf does plan to appeal the suspension. A source told ESPN's Adam Schefter, and that hearing is expected to happen today. If the suspension stands, Metcalf will forfeit $555,556 for the 2 games of the suspension, and it would also void $45 million in future guaranteed money, according to his contract, which was reviewed by CBS Sports and ESPN. Now, whether that money actually gets voided is obviously up to the discretion of the team, but nonetheless, this could be very costly for DK Metcalf. Jason, is this 2-game suspension too harsh from the NFL?
I don't think it is. When you see that video, you keep wondering, like, is there more to the story? So that fan and DK Metcalf a year ago when he was in Seattle, they said there was history between that fan. But when you look at that video, and from being on sideline, when you come off the field and you're DK Metcalf and your defense is on, there's a bench area. You're sitting down with your other teammates and the coaches, and you're going over film, and whatever it is that you're doing, your adjustments. For him to leave the bench area and walk over there from the video and the evidence and the things that we have seen and heard, you have no reason to sit there and say, like, why did DK Metcalf do this? Why is he over there talking to this fan and then eventually putting his hands on the fan? I think the league gave him a 2-game suspension because now it leaves them the room for error that in this appeal, if you want to knock it down to 1 game, you still have the ability to do that. I don't think they remove the suspension completely and take it down to 0 games, but I think they want to set a precedent. When we watch Lamar Jackson or different players engage with fans, we've seen fans initiate the contact. Somebody throwing a beer, pushing a player on the field, something of that nature. We didn't see that on Sunday. We saw DK Metcalf walk over to the fan and put his hands on him. I think that's why the suspension was the game.
And I think that they will knock it down to 1 game. And I don't think the Steelers are going to avoid that contract. They need him in the postseason. They're both wrong. The fan's a clown.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think, it sounds like you didn't say anything nasty, but you're trying to agonize
No doubt about it.
As you said, Jeff, I'm tired of the fans.
Right.
Fan behavior at these games is a joke.
Yeah.
But Metcalf's got over.
Right.
So he takes some hits too. So they're both wrong in this situation. I'm surprised they didn't just fine him. They gave him the game. They missed the game this week. But remember, if Baltimore loses to Green Bay on Saturday night, which I think it might, it doesn't make any difference. Because they're in the playoffs no matter what.
Right.
It's only if Baltimore wins, and then they don't have them against the Browns, where this could be a problem.
I think a 1 game, what we have seen from the league is when guys do things that are after plays, after games, whatever it is, and there's some kind of contact from player to player, it's typically 1 game. I would have given him 1 game, moved on. I don't think Roger is ever going to get to the point where when it's between fan and player that there's no suspension, because again, that leaves it really broad. So they want to set a precedent that everything kind of sticks to. I thought 2 games was a little bit much. Again, the guy's he just put almost $50 million at risk. Like it's already out of control. And the biggest thing for me is like, don't leave your bench, man. Like don't leave your bench. He was definitely wrong. Like Metcalf was definitely wrong to go over that. I don't care what he said. Listen, I've been butchered at different places. I have a name that people love to go. Everybody's been called everything under the sun. I get that kind of stuff. At some point, you just stay on the side. You just stay at your bench, man. And you hear it, you whatever. You send the security, hey, man, go get this clown, do whatever. The worst thing he did is once you walked over, you put yourself in a really bad position.
Yeah, the league can't have players going in. Not that he went into the stands, but he did make contact, and he was clearly provoked in some form or fashion. And the thing you bring up is it's crazy that apparently this fan did this last year when he was playing for a different team.
Right.
But we have not heard from DK either. I know they talked with Chad Johnson on his podcast. We still have not heard from the Steelers receiver about his side of things, but we should ultimately be hearing some news about this in the not too distant future. Why don't we stay in the AFC North here and talk about the Baltimore Ravens? Lamar Jackson was down with a back injury in the second quarter of the Ravens' Week 16 loss to the Patriots and was eventually ruled out of the game. The Ravens go on to allow 15 unanswered points and lose 28-24, severely impacting their chances in a negative way of making the playoffs. It's unclear whether Lamar is going to be able to play Saturday against the Green Bay Packers, and the Ravens' only path into the postseason now is to win the AFC North. And they're only being given a 7% chance to capture Pittsburgh has to lose its final 2 games, and those 2 teams will play each other in Week 18. But the Ravens loss or a Steelers win in Week 17 eliminates the Ravens. We're not having this conversation next week. Doggy, we have done this a lot with Lamar Jackson, and now that the path in the AFC is clear as it's ever been, if he doesn't get his team into the postseason, are you giving him a pass?
I am, absolutely. He's been injured a lot this year. I don't think they lost the game on Sunday because he was out, by the way, because they did have a 24-13 lead with 12 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Huntley had one series where you can say it's a little shaky. They had an 11-point lead in the fourth quarter at home, win the game. You can't blame it on Noel. You didn't have the quarterback win the game. But I am giving Lamar a pass, and I'm usually hard on him.
I know, I have to say, this is
a change for me. He missed a lot of games. How many games? 5, 6 games? He's been banged up a lot. Not 100%. Henry fumbled against Buffalo that first game of the year. He doesn't fumble. They could be in a better situation from the standpoint of where they are in the postseason. And I think the NFL's got a little tricky scenario here just to get off the beaten path about Lamar. They got bad luck this weekend. Lions lost, Ravens lost, Colts lost. They had 3 teams that they needed to win to put a little juice in these last 2 games, so maybe you didn't have to lose New Orleans, Tennessee game. Because when you think about it right now, there's not a lot left. There's Carolina and Tampa for the 1 slot.
So should the league get a pass?
I don't know. I'm not sure what we should do, but it's a problem.
We're just handing out passes now.
What kind of pass nonsense?
Oh, he gets a pass. Come on, give him a break.
This was okay.
Lamar gets a pass. He's missed 5 games.
Oh
Jeff.
my word!
And the ones he's been in,
and the ones he's been in, they haven't won. You giving him passes for those too?
Well, what game? Well, you got to
4
give him a
weeks
pass the
before.
first game of the year. Henry fumbled.
Oh,
and
my word.
And they scored 38 points in the game.
Here's the thing. You, of all people giving passes, you've lost your mind. You've lost. I thought you were the Grinch. You couldn't be a bigger Santa than you are right now giving passes. We don't give passes in the NFL. You win the
Jeff.
Their team would have the best roster in the NFL before the season. They're going to miss the playoffs. It's a 2-time MVP. You did a bad job. You did a bad job. No, you're crazy.
You got to think about it.
He's been in 12 games this year.
He's been in 12, but the other game he got hurt. So
think about when he missed those games. When he came back, Snoop Huntley wins a game for him. When Lamar came back, all we talked about was the path that the Pittsburgh Steelers had opened up to the Baltimore Ravens to win the division and get into the playoffs. The path was there. So yes, did he miss games? Was he a little bit rusty? Absolutely.
Got to get the pass. And how about Lively caught that touchdown against the Steelers and they moved it an incomplete pass? You know that was a touchdown. And if that's a touchdown, they win the first game against Pittsburgh.
For it to be a catch, there are 3 elements to a catch. There are 3 elements to a catch. He never hit the 3rd element.
That was a touchdown.
This weekend in that St. Titans game, we may get it. There might be 3 elements. I'm going to be all over. And you're going to be watching. There's something you're going to be betting on. You're going to be watching.
Who cares about Carolina's 200th game, by the way? You spent 5 hours out of here in the city.
They got a trophy.
Oh, they get a trophy. I mean, take it easy, please. And it was Houston and the Ravens. The game was over.
Take it easy. You just gave a pass. They had a chance to go win their division, and when he was starting, they didn't do it.
There's no pass. It was a pass this year.
You can't give a pass.
I give a pass this year.
Wow.
They would have won the first game of the year. That wasn't his fault.
Mad Dog, their high school teacher handing out passes.
7 and 8. Yeah. You're the teacher. All the kids are coming to you.
Now,
We're
can you
leaving her.
teach something at the end of the year when your grades just about failing, but you need a little extra credit to bump it up? That's you right now.
I'm stuck with you guys.
Here's the thing. If you're going to make him a pass, there's clearly blame to go around.
Maybe Harbaugh's been here a long time. Get someone else. He has been here forever.
Who are you assigning blame to in Baltimore then? Because clearly this went
Well, they're defensively awful for the first half of the year.
Yes.
Harbaugh, he's blown 12 double-digit leads in these fourth quarters